Hello and welcome to another Pocket Talk. This is Chris the Pocket Master and I'm here to talk about my top 10 games of all time. This is my personal top 10 games. It is not an official list by any means. If y'all have a top 10 list of games, please leave them in the comments down below and tell me why they are your favorite games of all time. Now without further ado, let me bring on number 10. Number 10. Sleeping Dogs. Now Sleeping Dogs is just a whole lot of fun. When I first played it, I felt like I was in an action movie that should star Jet Li or Jackie Chan. But the more I played it, the more and more it felt like Grand Theft Auto. I want to go on record saying that I am not a big fan of Grand Theft Auto or the Grand Theft Auto series because the story is always so stupid in those games. But Sleeping Dogs changed my mind on the genre. It had great gameplay, great music, and it told a great story. You play as Wei Shen, who is an undercover police officer, and he is infiltrating the Triads, which are actually guys he grew up with. They start fighting other Triad members, and it becomes a huge mess. Wei starts to experience stress along his mission. People start to worry about him, and people start to double-cross him. It is a great game, and it is on my list because it has changed my opinion on games like Grand Theft Auto or the Yakuza series. It opened my mind to games that have a criminal as the main character. Initially, the idea of being a bad guy turned me off because I like to be the hero in a video game. But now I'm more open to try out the Yakuza series. Number 9. Zelda Breath of the Wild. I know what some of y'all are thinking. You're probably thinking, why is this game so low on your list? Well, guess what? It takes a lot for a game to make it on my list, especially a new game. When I first played Zelda Breath of the Wild, it was instantly my favorite Zelda game of all time. There's so much to do in this game, like cooking, collecting items, taking pictures of different animals, building your own encyclopedia, making money off random shit you find on the floor, and machines, and oh my gosh, you can do so much. And did I mention there's a storyline in this game? It's a small storyline to most gamers, but it is a very sweet story. I put over 50 hours into this game, and I didn't want it to end. It's one of the few games that I told myself, man, I wish this game would never end, but I know it's going to end. So, I loved it. And man, when I finished the game, it was so magical. This game is everything that you would expect in a Zelda game, and then some. It is truly a masterpiece. Number 8. Tekken 5. I was reviewing the Tekken series when choosing this particular Tekken, and man, this one was a tough one. I had a lot of crazy memories with the Tekken series from 1 through 7, and that's including the Tag series, and that stupid Tekken Advance game. It all came down to 2 Tekken games, Tekken 5 and Tekken 7. Well, nostalgia won this battle, so you know what that means. Yes, Tekken 5 wins. Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection on the PSP to be exact. I had a lot of fond memories playing this game in high school. When I was a junior, it was a requirement to have a PSP and Tekken 5 if you wanted to hang out with me. My friends and I had tournaments, played during class, during lunch, and dare I say skip class and play it? Yes, I was a crazy kid in high school, but hey, that was the past. I was wild. I do not recommend skipping classes by any means, but yeah, that's what I did back then. Anyways, let me talk about the game itself. It was Tekken. If you do not know what Tekken is, maybe you should buy it, play it, and discover the awesomeness of it. In the game, you have typical game options like time attack, survival, gold rush, and this dojo thing where it kind of replicates an online mode where you're ranked in every battle you go through. Oh, and there's Tekken Bowling. It is so fun, and if you're playing with another player in Tekken Bowl, they do not have to have a PSP. You can take turns in this game mode. It is so sweet. I wish other games would do stuff like that, but it's whatever. This game is on my list because of the fond memories I've had in high school and just how much crap is jammed into this single UMD. It is an amazing game for sure. Number 7. Fatal Fury Special. Now I know what you are probably thinking. Why is an old game about Zelda Breath of the Wild? Surely this is not an open world game. Well, guess what? I'm old, and fighting games can be just as fun or even a little more fun than open world games. I just had lots of amazing memories of the Fatal Fury series in general. When I was about 8 years old, I bought a Neo Geo Pocket, and I had SNK vs. Capcom Match of the Millennium. Of course, I knew that there were lots of characters from different fighting games. I knew Capcom's fighting games, but I didn't know SNK's at the time. But I remember seeing the anime of Fatal Fury for sale on VHS, and I thought, oh my gosh, an SNK character's in a cartoon, I have to watch it. And oh my gosh, it was a great anime. It was the very first anime I have ever seen. It was just so cool. I thought it was cool, and I still do think it's cool. I do not care what anyone thinks. Thought it was great. Then I saw the commercial of the Fatal Fury motion picture anime, and it said, based on the best-selling game for the Super Nintendo, Neo Geo, and Sega game systems. Then I thought, Fatal Fury. Eventually, I got my hands on Fatal Fury 2 for the Sega Genesis, and Fatal Fury Special on the Super Nintendo. And yes, they are great ports of the game, but they are nowhere near as great as the actual Neo Geo game. Fast forward to 2021, I actually purchased a Neo Geo AES and the Fatal Fury Special game. My gosh, what a game to behold. Playing this game with an AES arcade stick put this game on my top 10 games of all time. The game being limited to 3 credits and having complete control with such an awesome controller really enhanced my gaming experience with this game. Yes, I understand you go through a number of levels and then finally a last boss as in fighting games, but back then SNK made it a point to include a secret boss in some of their fighting games. Ryo Sakazaki is the secret boss in this game, and in order to get to him, the player has to beat the game without losing a round. It is very difficult to do, but it is a breeze compared to beating Art of Fighting 2 on the easiest difficulty on this AES machine. Number 6. The Shenmue Series. So when I sat down and thought about the game I wanted for number 6, I thought of Shenmue. But then I thought, well, which Shenmue do I like the most? The answer to that is the whole series itself. If you think about it, Shenmue is just a huge game. It is still unfinished even after Shenmue 3, but to me, the fact that it is unfinished mystifies what could happen in the game. I like to see people theorize what could happen and love to see which theories were right, wrong, or still needed to be answered when the third game was out. I am aware that a lot of people were so disappointed in the third game, but really, if you didn't enjoy the third installment, then you probably didn't enjoy the first two, which means, and I apologize, there's no nice way to say this, but honestly, if you didn't enjoy the first two, you really have no business playing Shenmue 3. Shenmue is the first game where I thought, whoa, this game is like no other I've ever played. I could go anywhere in a small town or a harbor. What's this? Now I'm in China? Holy cow! Wait. What's this? Now I'm playing Hang On Space Harrier? Oh, I'm playing Outrun in this game? Oh my gosh. That's how I thought when I was playing this game. And again, I do not care what anyone says. This game is epic. The storyline is so great. It may be a little cliche, but I like it. The fight system in 1 and 2 and 3 are awesome. I do prefer the fight system in 1 and 2 a bit more than 3 because it's like Virtual Fighter, but the camera could get a little stupid during those fights sometimes. Shenmue 3's fight engine's pretty cool too. It could just take a little getting used to, a little time to get used to. It's not bad at all. The Shenmue series is a masterpiece in the making. I just hope all of it gets made in some form or fashion. Number 5. Final Fantasy X. Oh, this game made me pick up a piano and start playing music. I had to learn the theme of this song and only the theme of the song on a piano. Yeah, I never touched the piano again after I learned that song. But anyways, This game had one of the best storylines of any games that I have ever played, and I thought the voice acting was very good. I love the classic turn-based battle, and the characters were also interesting. It's so weird. Every summer I have to play this game from start to finish, and I love every bit of it no matter what system I play it on. It has been ported to almost every game system out there because it's a great game. And even you have to admit this is one of the best Final Fantasy games of all time. I know you're probably saying, well, Final Fantasy VII is better. Well, no, I do not agree. 7 is amazing, but 10 is just a whole lot better to me. Even with that remake, I still think 10 is better. I am very sorry about that. That is my opinion. Actually, it's a fact. I'm sorry, guys. Number 4, Ys 8. Now, if you want a game better than the whole Final Fantasy series, better than, dare I say, the whole Zelda series, let's look at the Ys series, please, and thank you. Specifically, let's look at Ys 8. Now, this game, Ys 8, took me by surprise. Ys 7 would have been on the spot if I had not played Ys 8. My gosh, what a brilliant game. The game starts off like any other Ys games. They're on a boat and they find themselves on another island, but this time a monster trashes the boat and they find themselves on a cursed island. After your ship crashes, the greatest opening to any video game starts playing. If you do not want to play the game, at least watch this intro. It's pretty cool. Throughout the game, you find the other castaways on the island and use them to break paths for you, increase your weaponry, trade for items, or play as them when fighting beasts. The music in this game is top notch. It has the best score of any game I have ever played. The fight system is like Trials of Mana, but better. You have your standard attack, special attacks, and of course, each playable character has their own cool looking super move. The boss battles can get really intense, as well as the storyline. This game is easily one of the best games I have ever played. The whole Ys series is amazing. Now I know that they're releasing Ys 9 soon on the Nintendo Switch. I cannot wait to play that. I heard it was even better than Ys 8, but I'll have to wait and see. Now I know what you're probably thinking, gamers. Just buy it on the PS4. But guys, I'm a pocket master. I'll buy it when it comes out on a handheld such as the Nintendo Switch. Number 3. Streets of Rage 4. When I first saw the previews of the 4th Streets of Rage, I thought it looked really cool, but never would I have thought this game would surpass my love for the 1st, 2nd, or even 3rd Streets of Rage game. Yes, I said it. Streets of Rage 4 is better than the first 3 by a long shot due to how deep of a game it is. There are lots of combo variations you can do, and each character is unique, and the moves aren't too overpowered. In fact, they're kind of weak. And the game is a great challenge. Streets of Rage 4 does not hold your hand unless you put it on the easiest difficulty. It is truly a game that challenges your patience and makes you think of what to do in certain situations, and if you play with other people, it makes you change your whole approach in playing this game. I love playing Streets of Rage 4 both by myself and with others. I remember spending the whole night playing the 2-player mode with Josh and trying to unlock everything. There are tons of things to unlock, such as the Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3 sprites of your main characters. You could unlock past characters in previous games and boss characters. There are even secret retro-themed stages that you could unlock. I'm going to say something that may piss certain individuals off, but if you hate this game just because of the graphics, you are an idiot. Lizard Cube put your stupid pixel graphics in there for you and added their style to the mix. I personally love the graphics and the music. I love this game so much that I had to purchase the limited run Streets of Rage 4 cartridge for the Nintendo Switch, which came with a soundtrack, art book, card, retro clamshell case, and 2 other awesome cases to hold the cartridge. It is one of my most prized collected items in my collection. Number 2. F-Zero GX for the GameCube. Yes, number 2 is F-Zero GX. I know this game was never ported to a portable console and I cannot get it to run on my GPD Win 2 correctly, but I cannot ignore how amazing this game is. The moment I read about it in Nintendo Power, I knew I had to get it someday. When I finally got it and played it, it was easily the best racing game I have ever played in my life. Not only was there a Grand Prix mode, time attack, and practice mode, this game allowed you to customize your own ship and unlock parts through the Grand Prix mode and story mode. Yes, there is an awesome, yet super silly story mode within the game where you play as Captain Falcon, the hero everyone wants to be. Along his adventure, you come across gangs, Samurai Gora, Black Shadow, Blood Falcon, and Deathborn. Now, F-Zero GX has a reputation of being a very difficult game. With that being said, the story mode is very difficult. The obstacle courses and races you experience in the story mode, they're hard to beat even on the easiest difficulty. However, if you beat the story on all difficulties, you unlock F-Zero AX racers. Now, F-Zero AX is the arcade version of GX, and you can only access those racers by playing that game or beating the story mode, or if you are lucky enough to find an AX arcade cabinet, bring your GameCube memory card and download the AX pilots without beating the story mode chapters on the hardest difficulties, because my god, that is super difficult to do. The gameplay itself is F-Zero at its best. It's fast-paced greatness and intense to the bone. Only hardcore gamers can truly appreciate what Sega and Nintendo have achieved here. This game is very challenging to the point where it bothered lots of casual gamers at the time, but not me. This game will always hold a special place in my heart. It brings back lots of great memories, and I'm always challenged when I turn this game on. I could go on and on about F-Zero GX, but I may save that for another video. Number 1. SNK vs. Capcom Match of the Millennium for the Neo Geo Pocket. If any of you have watched my past Pocket Talks, you would know that this game is number 1 on my list. Nothing has knocked it off the list. Games have come close, but they have not impacted me like this game has. SNK vs. Capcom Match of the Millennium was truly a match made in heaven. It was the first time Capcom and SNK collided. There's so much to do in this game. You have single player mode, tag team mode, and team battle. Also, you could participate in the Olympics mode, play fun-ass mini-games, and earn versus points to unlock secret moves, and transfer data to your Dreamcast if you have that rare Dreamcast to Neo Geo Pocket cable. There's just so much to say about this game that I made a whole review on it. So if you want to know why this is the best game in the world, just get out there, get out of here, just get out of this fucking video and go watch that video. Well guys, those were my top 10 games of all time. They're super amazing and I know they're respectable choices. If your top 10 is different than mine, please leave your top 10 down below in a comment. I would love to see what games you like. I enjoyed my time talking about my top 10 games, and I hope you enjoyed listening to me. I will see you in the next Pocket Talk. This is Chris the Pocket Master of Phoenix Splash TV, signing off.